Hello, everybody. Here's an interesting question that we've had from dealers recently, and I want to get your take on it. That is, do printer OEM programs violate US antitrust laws, specifically the Sherman Act? Let me read to you what the Sherman Act says. The Sherman Act outlaws every contract, combination, or conspiracy and restraint of trade, and any monopolization, attempted monopolization, or conspiracy or combination to monopolize. The Federal Trade Commission Act bans unfair methods of competition and unfair or deceptive acts or practices. And currently, DOJ is investigating Google for monopolizing or allegedly monopolizing its digital advertising technologies. And they're looking at Apple as well. And they're looking at Google because they're saying that Google's monopolistic platform suppresses competing products and services from appearing highly or at all in the search results. And they're looking at Apple in the same way for favoring their own third-party applications on their app store over other competing products. So just let that sink in for a minute, how they're being investigated for that kind of trade practice. Now, what if you looked at that from a printer perspective? Let's imagine that one of those companies made printers and they sold OEM cartridges. And then periodically, they would push out a firmware update, which would then render other people's cartridges, third-party cartridges, inoperable. Does that sound like a violation of US antitrust laws? How would you compare the locking out of cartridges inside a printer that people have already purchased? How would you weigh that? How would the court systems weigh that in comparison to the allegations that DOJ is currently investigating them for? Now, I've written an article on this that expands upon it a bit more. And there is a whole edition of the RT Media magazine that addresses the topic of OEM firmware programs in more detail. I'm going to put it in the comments below, but I would be really interested to get your thoughts. So please join the conversation.